Chapter 18 Communication. As when Johnny fled, RV just noticed a walkie-talkie on the ground. He picked it up, but just as he did so, he heard someone talking, saying, "Ah, Johnny, you're back." Melody, Melody and Amaris gasped. The talking continued. "Shut up, Benone. Those brats beat me to a pulp and they'll pay for it." Another person responded. Another person then said, "How about they pay for it when they least expect it, Johnny?" Johnny responded, "You know what, Mila? That sounds like a great plan. RVHQ must fall." But he noticed that his walkie-talkie was missing, saying, "Oh no, I left my walkie-talkie at the HQ. Damn it, I hate myself." Mila then said, "Hope RV doesn't get his hands on it." Unknown then said, "Come on, Mila. You should know they have their greasy mitts on that walkie-talkie." Then they hear Raiden's voice saying faintly, "Please help me." RV and the girls freak out, saying into the other walkie-talkie, "Yes, we are here, Raiden. Tell Johnny he'll pay for his mischief." Unknown and Mila turn their walkie-talkies off. Unknown then said, "Anyways, before we make this conversation chaotic and make our prisoner Raiden think it's a friggin' hotline, Mila, sick 'em." Mila lunged at Raiden, constantly punching and kicking him rapidly. While she was doing that, Raiden begged for mercy. After that, Mila then said, "You know what? Hand me the duster, Unknown." Obediently, Unknown had handed her some brass knuckles for the last blow. Wham! Knocking out a tooth and making him fall unconscious. Mila dropped the brass knuckles, thinking of another way to take down RV and the girls for good. Chapter 19 Merciless. The silence after the walkie-talkie transmission felt heavier than any explosion. RV didn't sit down. He didn't breathe easily. He stood up, saying, "That's it. No more waiting. No more mercy." Melody looked at him, eyes dark. Amaris said nothing, only nodded. They moved fast, using the damaged walkie-talkie. Amaris rerouted the frequency, tracing the interference pattern Johnny's group left behind. The signal wasn't clean, but it was human, sloppy, rushed. Matthias had taught them that mistake once. A trail led them out of RVHQ and into the older parts of Vengeance Town, places abandoned after the first riots, burnt-out cabins, collapsed bridges, and a lamppost marked with an old warning tape. Halfway down, they heard coughing, a voice, weak but familiar. Don't shoot." RV rushed forward. Jesus was slumped against the wall, shirt torn, arm wrapped in makeshift bandages stained dark. His eyes widened when he saw them. "RV," he breathed. "You're alive?" "For now," RV said, kneeling. Where is Matthias?" Jesus laughed once, short and bitter. "Knew you'd ask." He pointed upward. "The top floors. He's been watching everything, mapping movements, waiting for you." Melody stiffened, waiting or hiding? Jesus shook his head. Neither. Preparing. That's when the lights came on. Not bright, controlled, purposeful. A voice echoed from above, calm and unmistakable. Lower your weapons, all of you. Arvy looked up. Matthias stepped into view. Blue coat torn but still worn like armor. His eyes were sharp, exhausted, and very much alive. I knew you'd come after the walkie-talkie incident, Matthias continued. Johnny talks too much. Always has. Arvy stood slowly. You could have helped earlier. Matthias didn't deny it. I could have, he said, but if I did, Johnny would have vanished. Now he's angry, predictable. That makes him vulnerable. Melody bristled. People are dying left and right. Matthias's jaw tightened. And more will die if we don't end this right. He stepped closer. Johnny is planning something bigger than RVHQ, bigger than Raiden. He wants control, total control, and he thinks fear will get him there. Arvy's voice was ice. Then we take fear away. Matthias finally allowed a small, grim smile. That's why I waited for you. Jesus tried to stand and winced. Arvy caught him. No more running, Arvy said. No more listening through radios. He looked at all three of them. We end this together. Above them, distant sirens wailed. Somewhere far away, Johnny was still laughing, but not for long. Chapter 20. Unstoppable, and the rest of the girl's perspective and one boy Landon that are still alive. 2 chapters in one. Morning didn't arrive in Vengeance Town. Only a dim gray that suggested time was still moving, even if hope wasn't. They trained anyway. Arvy stood at the center of the old gym, sparks humming faintly beneath his rebuilt skull. Every movement felt heavier, sharper. He was no longer just flesh and thought. He was function. Again, he said. Matthias didn't hesitate. He rushed forward, forcing RV to react without thinking. The first hit landed. The second didn't. RV adapted, twisting, countering, learning. That's it, Matthias said. Don't plan, respond. Nearby, Melody trained differently. Not strength, not speed, control. She practiced keeping her hands steady while alarms blared, while lights flickered, while stimulated voices screamed lies through speakers. Amaris watched silently, occasionally correcting her stance, occasionally flinching when Melody's eyes went too cold. Jesus sat against the wall at first, recovering. Then he stood. He trained endurance, pain tolerance, how long he could stay at standing when everything told him to fall. Every time he dropped, he forced himself back up. I don't need to be the strongest, he said through clenched teeth. I just need to still be here at the end. Hours blurred, days maybe. At some point, they stopped counting. By the final session, they stood together, battered, exhausted, transformed. Matthias broke the silence, saying, Johnny thinks that fear makes him powerful. Arvy looked up, eyes glowing faintly. Then we'll show him what happens when fear stops working. Melody nodded. We don't run. Amory spoke quietly. We don't hesitate. Jesus cracked a tired smile. And we don't die today. Above them, far away, something shifted. Johnny was watching, and for the first time, he wasn't smiling. They didn't know about the training. They only knew how to survive. Lily kept watch from the window, fingers white around the frame. Every distant sound made her tense. Somewhere out there, Arvy was still alive. She had to believe that. Star rationed supplies with careful precision. No panic, no waste. If we run out, she said calmly, we don't make it to tomorrow. Sophia reinforced the doors. Amy checked the barricades twice. Karina marked escape routes on scraps of paper. Giselle kept morale alive with quiet jokes and whispered stories, even when her hand shook. And Landon listened for footsteps, drones, and lies. They're hunting, he said one night, not randomly. They're closing in. No one argued that night. The power flickered. They hid, held their breath, waited. When nothing came, Sophia whispered, Are we supposed to fight or just stay alive? Lily answered softly but firmly, We survive. That's the mission. Outside, the city groaned. Somewhere, distant explosions echoed like thunder. Gigi squeezing her Brendan plushie. If they don't make it, they will, Star said, cutting in. They have to. Above them, the mall, unseen. The war was aligning its pieces. Two paths, one confrontation, and no room left for mercy.